Yep, we're rolling for another fragrance review. Just sort the camera out. This is actually a second take of this, bit strange. Mid-video, I put the bottle up like this and the video stopped. I'm not sure why. Very strange. And I can't blame you, no, my Bengal cat, this time for knocking the camera or anything. So we're going again. So, take two. So this is JASOOR by Lattafa. I'm doing another clone review and another Lattafa one. This is a clone of, trying to remember, I've literally just said it in the previous video, but my mind's gone blank. Coral Fantasy by Valentino, and it's in the Born in Roma range. They have a green version, they have a gold version, they have several others, but this is a clone of that, which is the pink one. Without jumping the gun, it's a unisex fragrance that I think can appeal to men or women, and it's easily worn. I should say. I wouldn't say again. It's a certain time of year. We'll go through the notes and the price. So the price, again, like a lot of the Lattafas, it tends to range from £20 to £30 for 100ml. The top note is red apple, cardamom, bergamot. The middle is made up of tobacco, lavender and geranium. The base is tonka, leather, patchouli and vetiver. So, a lot of the notes that I've found in the Lattafas that I've been doing recently, or more recently, I like. I've reviewed them well. This is going to be, again, without jumping the gun, another one that I review well. So we're going to put it on the skin. Not going to talk about the bottle or anything, because again, sometimes the bottle's going to be nice, sometimes tacky. So I'm not going to review it based on that. So, how would I describe this? So already it's very radiant, almost like an EDT, but it's not. And also I've got to mention EDP. Most of the time they are EDPs. So what you get is a citrus fruitiness. I'm not just going to say that like regurgitated because of the notes, but you do get a lot of apple from it off the top, which is nice. It's pleasant. It's sweet, but not overly sweet. Again, as I go back to, it's a unisex fragrance, but I would say it's actually bang in the middle. I don't want to say it's just very feminine because of the sweetness, but I think that either sexes would enjoy this. So again, like a lot of the Lattafas, they're very good clones. I have smelt the original. I think I even bought my mum for a birthday last year the green extravaganza version, which again I think is unisex as well. So it's nice. So it's very citrus top heavy at the moment. When it does dry down, I don't want to say the tobacco and leather notes are very prominent, but they're there. It's just very pleasant and easily worn. I wouldn't say it's overly sweet, which you could argue about, like, say, Lattafa Camera. Some people might find it overly sweet or overly boozy. I think this is perfect. It's placed, again, as I say, bang in the middle between masculine and feminine. So there's elements of the sweetness and the kind of flowery sort ofness of a woman's fragrance. But then you've got the strength and the kind of, there's like a dark edge in there, which could be the leather, could be the tobacco. But it's just, you don't just pick out an individual note. It's so well blended that it's just really easily worn. And I think, again, as I go back to it being perfectly set in the middle, I think men and women would enjoy this. Again, most of the fragrances I tend to do obviously veer a lot more towards masculine, but there are ones in the past that I've done off the top of my head. I think the Al Nashama Caprice, another Lattafa, which is a clone of YSL Blue Electrique, that could go either way, shall we say. So if I was to give it a rating, so we talk about performance and projection. For the first hour or two, the projection and the performance is obviously very good, as it should be for an EDP. One thing I can say about this Lattafa fragrance, and again, it could be similar with the Valentino one. I think that the performance, it stays as a skin scent for a long time, a bit like the top of my head, the Eros by Versace, the EDP at least. for me, the performance is excellent in terms of how long it lasts on the skin. However, the radiance, like with that, it kind of fades. I'd say on about the third or fourth hour mark, it becomes just a skin scent, which again, in comparison to more like reviews, just going over them now, like the Lattafa and some Silver, which is a clone of the Most Wanted by JASOOR, or Lattafa Camera, their radiances are like 4 to 6 hours, so you get that extra performance and the radiance, and hence why I gave them both an 8 out of 10, because of that fact that the radiance drops. And I've actually already put the review down here, 7.5 out of 10, which I think is fair, because again, it's a very good clone, like say 75-80%, unlike say the others that were closer in terms of what I just mentioned, the Camera and the Ansan Silver. But this is easily worn, it's very pleasant. I think most people would compliment you on this, male or female, because again, it's just a very, and I don't like to say this niche term, mass appealing, because it is. It's easily worn. It's sweet. It projects really well for the first hour or two. But again, once it becomes a skin scent, it's not that it's bad. And one thing I can say, which is strange about this, it might just be where it's new and I like it, but when I do put this on clothes, and it's kind of when I walk around, it kind of, I get a sillage off of this. So even though the radiance isn't great in terms of and in comparison to the other Lattafas that I've reviewed more recently, I do recommend this. And again, for £20 to £30, just to show it again before it stops the video. As I said last time I did this, I put it up, it stopped the video, so I don't want to stop it again, so I won't keep picking it up. So yeah, nothing really more I can say. Lattafa JASOOR, 7.5 out of 10. It's pleasant. It's citrus heavy. It dries down quite nicely. It's well blended. It's not too harsh where some clones are. There's nothing really more I can say. Again, it's not going to get an 8 or a 9 because it's nothing special. But I think that in terms of like, it just a blind buy, shall we say, I don't think you can really go wrong. And in terms of the actual range that it's based on by Valentino, being a clone, again, it's an excellent clone, and Lattafa have just done some really good clones lately. Hence, I've just reviewed 3 back to back in terms of not all in one tape, but you get what I mean in terms of reviews that I've put up, and obviously, you know, putting this one up now. So there's probably a high probability that there's going to be other Lattafas that I find. They're excellent clones. It's probably my favourite clone house at the moment, although I have used Armath and a few others in the past. Al Haramain do some good ones, but they just have an extensive range. I'm not paid or sponsored by Lattafa or anything like that. I just, again, it's a common theme. If you just look online, look on YouTube for Agentica, that website, they have good reviews for a reason. It's not just people shilling for them. They're decent. So again, and to finalise the review, 7.5 for JASOOR Lattafa. I think if you're after something easily worn, middle of the road in terms of masculine or feminine, sweet notes, citrus heavy at the top with the apple, but dries down and a little bit smoky, a little bit darkness, but not overly, again, going back to that point, in the middle. It's not too smoky or too vetiver or musky or woody, and at the other end it's not like just flat and does nothing basically. So yeah, we'll end it there. Again, I'm sort of scared to put this up, but then it'll end the video anyway, or it did last time. So Lattafa JASOOR, put that quickly down, 7.5 out of 10. Do recommend it, at least trying it, and especially if you like the Coral Fantasy by Valentino, Born in Roma range, 80% like the original. So yeah, nothing more I can say. So we'll end it there.